Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable English PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access. Hi everybody, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alisha, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to talk about sharing nuanced opinions. Nuanced opinions means presenting a few different ideas in your opinion. So it's not just A or B, but how do you talk about the small opinions inside your bigger opinion? Today we're going to talk about some patterns you can use to do that all in one sentence very, very easily. So I hope this is a great lesson for learners of many different levels. As you join, please, please, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so other people can find today's lesson, and send a message in the chat so that I can say hello to you. That would be really, really cool. While we wait for everyone to join us live, I want to mention this banner at the bottom of the screen which says to get your free PDF cheat sheets. So the team has created a whole bunch of PDF cheat sheets that you can download for free at EnglishClass101.com. So check this out. You can find all of the different PDFs from this page. If you go to the website and you log in, you can download everything right away. If you do not have an account, you can make a free account. You only need your name and your email address, and then you can download everything for free. So check it out. All right, I'll remind you again later. Okay, but we have a lot to cover today, so I want to start as soon as possible. I think that everything is rolling. It looks like Facebook is there, hooray! And I think that YouTube is also there, hooray! Wow, look at all the people on YouTube. Oh my gosh, hi everybody, welcome, hi. Can I scooch this forward, Control Desk? Is there enough space here? I can't see. Okay, maybe I'll move this forward too. Hello, Natalie and Abdul and Labet, Digna, Fran, Stalin, Jamal, Aprendido Inglés from Brazil. What's up? Salman, Minnow, hi, Cherry. Oh my gosh, so many people today. And on Facebook, hello, Abdi. I saw you just there briefly. Oh my gosh, welcome everybody. Let's begin today's live stream topic because we have a lot to cover. Let's begin with our first pattern. For part one, I want to talk about presenting contrasting ideas. So when you want to express an opinion where you have two ideas that are kind of not the opposite, but for example, when you have one idea or one opinion that's kind of good and another opinion that's a little negative, how do you combine those two to create a sentence? Okay, so let's take a look. The first pattern is very, very simple. I think X, but I also think Y, okay? Where X is a simple sentence, your first idea. So usually this X part is your kind of positive idea, the good point, okay? And then Y is kind of the not so good point, the little bit negative point, okay? And of course, X and Y should be about the same topic, okay? So let's go through the 3 example sentences I prepared. You can send me your example sentences in the chat and I will try to check them live. So let's take a look. How do we use this? First example, I think she's a very efficient worker, but I also think she's very hard to get along with. Okay, let's break down this sentence. Let's follow the pattern. I think X. Okay, so here's the I think, right? Then X, I said X is just a simple sentence 1. Here is my simple sentence. She's a very efficient worker, right? Very simple. Inside this we have a subject, and then we have, in this case, we have an adjective, but we have this very efficient worker section to describe the positive part of this person, right? She's a very efficient worker. Oh, sorry, and my verb here. She is, right? She's a very efficient worker. Sentence 1. Then we present the other point, right? The negative point with but, right? But I also think she's very hard to get along with. Here we have simple sentence 2. She is, so here's our subject and our verb. And here, very hard to get along with. So hard to get along with someone means easy to have a good relationship with someone, okay? In this case, it's a negative thing. She's very hard to get along with, means it's difficult to make a good relationship with her. So in this sentence, we have, in part 1, X, a good point, right? She's a very efficient worker. But in sentence Y, we have this kind of negative point. So in this way, we can use this simple pattern to share two parts of one opinion, right? So this together helps express your opinion of a person, their good points and their bad points, okay? You can send your message in the chat now that we've practiced the structure. I'll go on to the next one and then I'll come back to the chat to say, to check your examples. Hello to everyone joining. Hi, Pensri from Thailand, welcome. Yospel from Cuba, what's up? And hello, oh my gosh, Juan and Liton, I think I didn't say hello to you before. Gide, hello, welcome. Okay, let's take a look at the second example sentence then. I think fried chicken for dinner sounds great, but I also think we should eat something healthy, okay? So when you make a decision for dinner, you might use this pattern, okay? Let's break this one down in our nuanced opinion. So I think, and then our first sentence is here. Fried chicken for dinner sounds great. Okay, so fried chicken for dinner, right? Sounds, here's our verb, great. That sounds great, okay? So that's a good point. But here's our contrast. I also think we should eat something healthy. Here's our second sentence. We should eat something healthy. So in this case, we present a not so healthy option and then a more healthy option or a suggestion for something healthy in the second part of the sentence, okay? So in this way, we can present two sides of an opinion, all right? I see some examples coming in. Hooray, Patrick wrote, orange juice is good for our health. Maybe unfortunately, nowadays the oranges are very expensive. Okay, so maybe you're using unfortunately here. So like orange juice is good for our health, and then instead of but, you used unfortunately. Do I have that right? Unfortunately, nowadays the oranges are very expensive. Okay, so maybe you just used unfortunately here. That works, that sounds great, okay. Minnow has a good one. I think she seems to be a good teacher, but I also think she's too childish to talk logically. Ooh, good, okay. So to talk logically or to think logically maybe could be a good one. Nice one, okay. Rocky wrote, I think actor, so you don't need Anne, I think actor Bob Hope is the funniest guy. But I also think he's kind of silly in some movies. Great, nice one. Great examples so far, everybody. Okay, let's look at one more different situation for our third example. It's kind of long, I hope you can see. So let's break down this one. Long sentence, it looks long, right? But it's the same pattern. It's a really simple pattern, okay? So let's take a look at what's happening. The sentence is, I think changing jobs could be good for you. But I also think you're making good money at your current job, okay? I think changing jobs could be good for you, but I also think you're making good money at your current job, okay? Very real life situation, right? Let's break this sentence down. Here we have our I think, okay? Next, changing jobs could be good for you, right? This is just a simple sentence. Changing jobs, so here's the topic here, changing jobs. And then in this sentence, we have could be, right, for our verb. So we're talking about a possibility here. It could be good for you, yeah? But our contrast point is here. But I also think, and then you're making good money at your current job. Here's another simple sentence. You're making, so here's our subject and our verb, in this case progressive, you're making good money at your current job, right? So in this way, we can present two sides of a situation, right? This is maybe a very real life professional problem to have, or a professional question to have, right? Okay, let's see what else is coming in the chat. Stalin wrote, I think traveling is a lot of fun, but sometimes the journey is very tiring. I 100% agree. I agree with you. Traveling is a lot of fun, but yes, sometimes the journey is tiring. Okay, others. Salman wrote, I think the party was amazing, but the weather was terrible. Good. Okay, so some people removed. You can remove this. So, but you can remove this part. Some people are doing that. That looks great. Nice one. Facebook, I see people saying hello. I do not see example sentences. Your YouTube classmates are doing a fantastic job. They're putting long sentences in the chat. So make sure that Facebook people also send some example sentences. Okay. The Black Eagle, I think you're good at math, but I also think that you're good at science. Okay. I would put an and there because the ideas don't really contrast. Like, I think you're good at math and I think you're good at science. So in that sentence, you're kind of giving 2 good points, right? So in my mind, to me, I think you should use an and there. But right here, we use to show contrast. The 2 things, there's a positive side and a negative side, or 2 things are very different, right? Okay, let's see who else. Theo wrote, I think sleeping early could be good for your health. Okay, but I also think you're laying in bed even though you're not tired. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I would say to make it a little more natural, I think going to bed early could be good for your health, but I also think you might just lay in bed even though you're not tired, right? So you might just could mean like that might be a future possibility. Yeah. Okay. Nice examples, everybody. Way to go. Okay. Facebook, I'm waiting for your example sentences. You can say hello. I got it. Let's get some examples going. Okay, let's take a quick break and then we'll continue to part 2, a little level up. Okay? This one's going to be a little more of a challenge, but I think you can do it. So, very quickly, if you missed it, the team has a bunch, so many different PDF cheat sheets. Oh my gosh. They are 100% free. You can find them at EnglishClass101.com. So check the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You can find all of the PDFs. You can choose all of them too. You don't have to choose only one or only 2. Just log in to your EnglishClass101.com account. If you do not have an account, you can make one for free and come back to this page and download everything. Go crazy. I hope it's helpful. Okay, let's continue then. Let's go to part 2. So in part 2, we're going to talk about this doesn't mean pattern, okay? And there are a few variations, but let's take a look at the base pattern I want to use today. And also, if you haven't, please make sure to like the video and share it because it does help other people find the lesson. So let's take a look at doesn't mean. So the pattern I want to use is very similar to the pattern in part 1 today, okay? The pattern is while X, that doesn't mean Y, okay? While X, that doesn't mean Y. So in this pattern, again, where X is simple sentence 1 and Y is simple sentence 2, the grammar of the structure, the grammar in this pattern is very similar here. However, this that doesn't mean part is a different, creates a different type of contrast, creates a different type of relationship between X and Y, okay? So this sentence, this pattern means that X is true, okay? X is true, but X, even though X is true, well, yes, it's true, that doesn't mean, or that does not negate Y, okay? So that doesn't mean that Y can't be true. Okay, sounds confusing. So let's break it down with some example sentences. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. While our vacation budget isn't huge, that doesn't mean we can't have fun. So while our vacation budget isn't huge, that doesn't mean we can't have fun. Let's break down this sentence. First, we have while at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, so this is like a big hint. There's a contrast, there's a different idea coming soon, okay? So, while our vacation budget isn't huge, here's X, right? Sentence, simple sentence number 1. Our vacation budget, here's our subject, here's our verb, isn't, and then we have huge, right? Really, really big, right? So, our vacation budget isn't huge. This is idea number 1. Then, we have this part. That doesn't mean, okay? So that means yes, X is true. However, then we have often at the end of this pattern a kind of negative sentence. And when I say negative, I mean like a grammatically negative thing. So in this case, we can't have fun. We can't have fun. Okay, so you might think, oh, wait, does that mean we can't have fun because the budget isn't huge? No, the opposite. It means that although y is true, although x is true, y is still possible. Y is still possible, but we use a negative here. That doesn't mean we can't have fun, okay? So that means we can't have fun is not true, okay? So while our vacation budget isn't huge, that doesn't mean we can't have fun, okay? What's tricky, I think the challenging point here is often we use a grammatically negative, like we can't have fun here, okay? Let's look at another example sentence, and then I'll come to check the comments, okay? So the next one is, while I disagreed with the CEO's opinions, that doesn't mean I think he should have been fired. While I disagreed with the CEO's opinions, that doesn't mean I think he should have been fired. So let's break down this sentence, which is a past tense example, okay? So again, we begin with while, okay? Then I disagreed with the CEO's opinions is X. Simple sentence 1, okay? And here we have a past tense. I disagreed, okay? This tells us the situation has finished. It's over, right? I'm talking about a past situation. So while I disagreed with the CEO's opinions, that doesn't mean, and then here is sentence Y. I think he should have been fired. So this is an opinion, right? In this case, I think he should have been. So this, again, shows us the action happened in the past, okay? So this means, yes, I disagreed with the CEO's opinions, but in this situation, the CEO was fired. It's like, oh, that sounds like a surprise, right? Yes, I did not agree, but I don't think that was right. I don't think that was a good idea to fire the CEO. So we communicate that with that doesn't mean plus the opposite kind of grammar point, okay? So maybe you can kind of see this here. We have different grammar or different feelings in sentence 1 and sentence 2, in X and in Y. In this case, we have a kind of negative in sentence X, right? I disagreed, right? I didn't think that was good. But I think he should have been fired, right? So we're contrasting these 2 points, yeah? Okay, let's see what you wrote in the chat. I see some examples coming up. Minnow has a funny one. While you're the smartest in this class, that doesn't mean you're the greatest. Nice one, Minnow. I think there are some people that should hear that sentence. Great, great, good one. Okay. Zach, nice one. While I enjoy your company, that doesn't mean I want to spend every evening with you. Very nice example sentence. Okay. Victor wrote, while I'm studying so hard, or I would say, while I've been studying very hard, or similar, that doesn't mean that I'm going to get a good grade, maybe, or a good score on my test. Yeah. So maybe while I'm studying very, very hard, that doesn't mean I'm going to get a good score. Okay. Let me see some others. Hey, finally on Facebook, Miriam, you're our first one today. Great. Miriam wrote, while you have a high grade in math, that doesn't mean you don't need to practice. Nice one. That's a great one. That's a very, very nice sentence. Great job, Miriam. Okay, back on YouTube, if I have, let's see, I'm trying to read comments from everybody, so everyone has a chance. Jamal wrote, while bears look heavy, that doesn't mean they can't outrun us. Yes, that's true. That's a great one. Thanks, Jamal. I like that. Okay. Let's see. Rocky wrote, while something is starting to happen. Okay, something is starting to happen. That doesn't mean, right? That doesn't mean I'm not going to lose my cool. What is this situation? This is, you put while something is starting to happen. Can you be a little more specific? Like what's the something? Like while a fight is starting to happen, maybe? Like a fight or an argument, while an argument is starting, or maybe while I can see an argument is starting, that doesn't mean I'm going to lose my cool, okay? So watch out at the end of that. You put that doesn't, I'm not going to. So that doesn't mean, I'm a little confused by that one. Maybe can you help me understand the situation a little bit more? Great effort there. Okay. And Rhodis wrote, while we have a tight budget for our vacation, that doesn't mean we can't bargain for some souvenirs. Yeah, great. Oh, another one came on Facebook. Aziz wrote, while I was in the hospital, that doesn't mean I was sick. Good, okay, good. Maybe you had an accident or something, right? So while I was in the hospital, that doesn't mean I was sick. Very nice job, everybody. I thought this would be quite a challenging one. Okay, let's finish with one more example, and then we'll continue to some keywords. I had a lot I wanted to share today, but I didn't have enough space, so I chose the top keywords that I hope will be helpful to kind of boost your vocabulary this week. Anyway, let's go to the last one. While the school's rules are strict, that doesn't mean students can't enjoy their studies here, okay? So again, while the school's rules are strict, that doesn't mean students can't enjoy their studies here. So again, we begin with while, okay? Here is X, sentence X. The school's rules are strict. Our connecting phrase, that doesn't mean, plus students can't enjoy their studies here. While the school's rules are strict, students can't enjoy their studies here. These are our two main ideas that we contrast with that doesn't mean, okay? Great job with this one, everybody. I really am very impressed. Okay. Rocky, thank you for sharing more information. I meant I want the person to leave me alone and not yell at me. I didn't mean to. It's okay. It's okay to confuse me. That's our job. That's how we work together here, right? So your original sentence, I want the person to leave me alone and not yell at me. Okay. So maybe while someone is starting to yell at me, that doesn't mean I'm going to lose my cool. Yeah. You were very close then. Okay. I think maybe just sentence X I needed a little more information in your sentence X to make it clear and easy to understand. Okay, great job, everybody. Let's continue on quickly then to some keywords to finish today's lesson. I wanted to include a few things to help you in those situations where you need more information, right? What are some keywords you can use to express an opinion, but when you don't have all the information yet? For example, when you are waiting for a new policy or a new rule at work or school or in your country, right? So how do we talk about that? The first one I want to share is the expression, we still don't know the details of X. We still don't know the details of, or this of could be about as well. We still don't know the details of X. So that means we don't know yet, but we are going to know in the future more information about the topic. For example, we still don't know the details of the car accident. We still don't know the details of the car accident. So this sounds like more details are going to come in the future. So we should wait, okay? So we still is a key word here. We don't know the details of the car accident is also correct, but still gives the expectation, right? We're going to learn more information in the future, so let's wait, okay? All right, then let's look at the next one. The next is a kind of a pair. I want to include both of these, the verb form and the noun form. The verb here is speculate, and the noun form is speculation, okay? These are important for news these days. News, social media news, and official news from official media sources. To speculate as a verb, to speculate means to make a guess about what is going to happen, or to make a guess about what is happening. So for example, in the car accident situation, if the news starts to guess that the driver came this way and someone was walking across the street, or the driver was drinking alcohol and that caused the crash, if the news or if the community, they start to make lots of guesses, they start to try to find who was the person, what did they do. They try to make guesses. That is called, as a noun, speculation. And we describe the action with the verb speculate. So, some examples then. We shouldn't speculate about breaking news. We shouldn't speculate about breaking news. Here's our keyword. We should not speculate. So it's not a good idea to speculate about breaking news. Maybe it's very entertaining and very exciting to try to make guesses, yeah, about breaking news. And in a noun, as a noun, this article is pure speculation. This article is pure speculation. Sometimes you read a news article and you realize, this is not official information. The writer is just guessing, right? They're just talking to people and putting together opinions. It's just speculation. The article is just speculation. So these words are very important for talking about the news and people's opinions about the news these days, okay? And finally, I wanted to include this expression, wait and see. Wait and see. This is like a set phrase. Two verbs, wait and see. We use it to mean let's stop, let's not make any decisions, let's not move forward, let's understand the information coming first, okay? So wait and see. For example, we're going to wait and see what happens next. We're going to wait and see what happens next. So this uses wait and see right here. Often we'll follow it with we're going to wait and see what happens next, or I'm going to wait and see what happens next, which means I am going to pause and I will wait to receive more information and then make a decision. So wait and see is a good one that you can use when you share your opinions, yeah? So like, I'm not sure yet, or we still don't know the details, so I'm going to wait and see, all right? I'm going to wait and see what happens. So this is a good one to mean you're waiting for information. Okay, we'll finish there, I think, for today. Let me check to see, I don't see other, oh my goodness. Zach, you've got a bunch. Great. Investors have long speculated about a merger between the two tech giants. Nice. Okay, good. I don't see other ones. Great job, Zach. I'm not just going to read everything, but great work. I have to finish there. Oh my gosh, today went fast as always, but we got it. We made it through today. Oh, if you would like to take a screenshot, I will create now a QR code so you can take a picture of today's lesson board. So I will get out of the way now. Ta-da! All right, great. If you would like to take a picture, now is your chance. If you want a regular screenshot, now is your chance. That is today's lesson information. All right, so I hope that was helpful for you. This is an important skill to express a nuanced opinion. Today, especially on the internet, people just say crazy things without lots of nuance. They don't consider that there are many small opinions inside our other opinions. So it's very important to be able to express these things. All right, I have to finish today's lesson, but next week I'll be back, of course. What did I choose for next week? Yes, next week will be fun. Next week we're going to talk about explaining what you want someone to do, like when you give someone instructions for something. So please join me for that very helpful lesson. How do you politely and kindly ask for someone to do something for you, right? How do you make it not a command, but how do you do it nicely? That will be our topic for next week. All right, so please join me next week at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, just Google it, or you can set a notification on Facebook or on YouTube so you get a pop-up notification when we start this live stream. Yay, great. All right. I will say thank you to everybody for joining me live this week, and don't forget the team has a ton. They have so many free PDFs for you to use to practice your vocabulary, to practice your conversation skills. They've added some as well recently. So if you haven't checked recently, go check and you can find all of the new ones that are on this page, and then you can download the ones that are new for you. So if you checked it before and you downloaded some, you can come back and download more. So go and do that. All right. So thank you everybody for liking and sharing and commenting and sending your questions. That was super, super cool. That's it for me for this week. So have a great day, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I will see you again next time. Bye. Hi everybody, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alisha, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to talk about explaining what you want someone to do. Today, we're going to talk about how to give commands clearly, directly, and politely. We're going to talk about sequence words that you can use to give instructions. And in part 3, we're going to talk about request patterns. So today's lesson is an excellent one for using in the workplace and sometimes at school and at home. So these are very short, very simple patterns we're going to practice today. So I hope everybody can send some example sentences live in the chat, where I will try to check live. Or if you're watching this later, pop them in there so that you can get a little practice too. So send a message in the chat if you're watching live. I'll try to say hello in just a second. But while we wait for everyone to join us live, a quick announcement about this banner at the bottom of the screen. This is download your free 2,000-word ebook. The team has created a free PDF ebook with the 2,000 core words of English. The core words of English are the most commonly used words in everyday English conversation. So if you want to study the most important words for everyday conversation first, download this ebook. You can find it for free at EnglishClass101.com. The link is below the video if you're watching this on YouTube. On Facebook, check the link up here, or to the side up here, make the video small, and you can find the link there. You just need an account. It is free to make an account. You just need your name and your email address. To get that, log in, come to this page, boop, download, study, go crazy. So I'll remind you again later. Okay, so let me check the chat. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's exploding. Hello, everybody. Hello, Vaylon and Nevian, Nilufar. Hello, Rocky, Elkie, Raphael, Natalie, Patrick, Byron, Renee, Sandra, Fatih. Oh my gosh, I hope I got everybody there. Facebook is loading. We'll come there in just a second. Oh, there's Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Hi, everybody on Facebook. I don't see messages yet. Maybe you'll come soon. Okay, we are going to talk about a lot of simple patterns, but today I hope you send a lot of examples live and I can add some to the board. There's a little space left today. Usually I pack it full, but today I tried to keep it on the small side. So let's get into today's topic. If you haven't, please make sure to hit the like button and share this video because it helps other people find these lessons. So let's get into it. I hope everyone's ready. Hello, in the YouTube chat, I see more people. Hello, Marcelo from Brazil, Gutierrez, Semeche, hello, Miriam, S. Cerise, hello. Oh, on Facebook, there's a Facebook person, Al Gussin, hello, welcome. Okay, let's begin. We're going to begin with basic commands. Basic commands, easy patterns. Today, we're going to focus on easy patterns. Let's start with a direct pattern. So a direct basic command is very simple. We use the infinitive verb. So that means the dictionary form, the base form of the verb. We do not use to here, just the base verb form, plus our extra information. So let's look at some examples. Your task, your live stream homework now, is to send an example with this pattern in the chat. I will check it live. So let's begin with a simple one. I tell you every live stream this command. Click this link, or click the link down below, or click the link up here, right? Every time I do a live stream, I use this command. Click this link. So in this sentence, here's my verb, to click, right? These days, of course, lots of people use smartphones, so you can say tap the link, right? Or go to the link, I suppose. We still use click a lot because of that's the verb we use for computers. Like when we click something, this gesture on like an old computer mouse like this, or also when we use a laptop computer, we use this. So we often use the verb click. Maybe you'll see tap. Anyway, click this link. So here is our verb, and here is the thing receiving the action. Click this link. Basic command. I use it every week here. Okay. Here's another one. Pay this amount. This one is super common in online shopping, right? Pay is our base verb. This amount. Okay. Pay this amount. This is something you see at the last part of an online shopping experience. When you go to Amazon or you go to a local website, your favorite brand, at the end part where you have to pay, it often says something like, pay this amount, right? That means give us this money, right? Pay, maybe it says $20, pay this amount, right? So this is very easy to do, very direct and very clear. I will say, these are not the most polite. We'll talk about how to make it polite. So these are clear, yes, but when you're using them in conversation, you might want to make it a little softer. For now, let me come to the chat. What are your commands right now? Zach has to sit down, look around, good. Akshay wrote, listen carefully, good. Marcello wrote, push that door, good. Maybe you want to say open that door? Either way, push that door open, maybe. Okay, good, nice one so far. Black Eagle, you want pay attention, yeah? So these kinds of direct commands are commonly used by parents, teachers, perhaps, and also in like sales situations too. To make these more polite, just add please before the verb. Please click this link. Please pay this amount. That's easy, right? Just put please at the beginning. Now, let's take a look at the negative forms of these basic commands. Also very easy. So, all we need to do is put don't before the infinitive verb. That's it. It's so easy. So, let's break down these negative examples. Don't attend the meeting. Don't attend the meeting. Don't attend the meeting today. You should go to the other place in our company that I need you to be. So please do something else, right? In this sentence here, we have the negative form, don't, do not, plus our verb and our the thing that is affected by the verb, right? Don't attend the meeting. It's going to be crazy, okay? So do not do that command. Second one, don't wear that shirt. Don't wear that shirt. It's too casual. This is a formal event, okay? So again, we make it negative with don't. Our verb is wear, and we have that shirt, the thing affected by the verb. Don't wear that shirt. It's too casual. So let me check the chat. Ta-da! Okay, I'm trying to read examples from everybody. There's a bunch. Great. Fatih wrote, pay for me. Ooh, pay for me? Ooh, you might want to stay until part 3. Grammatically, you are correct. Grammatically, no problem. But you're asking someone to pay for you. Maybe you want to use a request for that, not a command. You can stay until later. Okay, oh my gosh, YouTube is exploding. Renee wrote, please do not go. Yes, good. Please don't go to make it natural. So here, maybe you can notice I've used don't instead of do not. Do not can sound a little stiff, like a robot. Do not go. So please use don't to sound more natural in conversation. Facebook, I don't see any examples on Facebook yet. So come on, Facebook, your YouTube classmates are doing a great job. The chat is exploding. Let's see some other examples. Fatih wrote, don't be noise. Don't be noisy. Noise is the noun. You want noisy. So take off the E and use a Y. Don't be noisy. Nevian wrote, don't waste your energy. Good. Patrick wrote, you want don't call your mom. You don't need to use to for a phone call. Don't call plus your mom, or don't call your dad, right? She's busy. Good. Renee wrote, do not enter there. Okay, so again, I recommend don't enter, right? Don't enter. The Black Eagle wrote, don't eat this meal. Okay, good. Zach wrote, don't forget to lock the door when you leave. Good. And don't run near the swimming pool. Nice. Mina wrote, don't visit me before 9 a.m. Yeah, we need a slow morning. Maybe you're like me. I love a slow morning. Okay. Rocky wrote, don't come in. I'm cleaning my room right now. Excellent. Marcello wrote, don't speak so loud. Good. And Akshay wrote, don't give up. Good. There's one on Facebook. Hey, what's your great? Sorry, there's something on the screen here. Okay, Graybeal. Just some dust. Don't run so fast. Good. Nice examples, everybody. Excellent work. Easy. Basic commands are easy, right? Again, if you want to make this more polite, just use please. Please. We're going to review this today. So please goes before don't, right? Please goes here in the negative form. Please don't blah, blah, blah. Or in the positive form, please click this link. Please pay this amount. Easy, right? Good warm-up. Nicely done. So let's take a break, and then we'll go to part 2, where we're going to practice explaining steps. How exciting. So, in case you missed it, I'll quickly remind you, the team has a free 2,000-word PDF vocabulary study ebook. Oh my gosh. If you have not seen this, you can download this from the link below the video, YouTube, Facebook, find it up here. You can click the link to get this for free. You just need to log in to EnglishClass101.com with your free account. If you don't have an account, you can make it for free with your name and email address. So if you want to study some vocabulary words that are key, that are super important for everyday conversation, go get this. Go crazy. Okay. Continuing. Let's go to part 2 now, explaining steps. We're going to review some sequence words. If you haven't, please, please, please make sure to hit the like button and share this video because it helps other people find the lesson. Okay, so let's take a look. Explaining steps. Explaining steps. Today, I created a kind of timeline. In black, you can see here maybe, I have start on this end and finish down here. This is not 100% perfect. This is not a rule. The purpose of this timeline is just to help you understand when to use each sequence word, okay? So first we're going to look at these sequence words, then we're going to look at how to put them together with our commands to give someone instructions, yeah? Because this is, I think many people feel nervous about this, trying to teach someone something, but this can actually be so easy, right? That part was pretty easy, right? So now we'll put it together with this. So let's look at the steps. First. So we always use first at the beginning, right? I use it all the time to talk about point number 1, right? So use first at the start. Next, you can use next or after that, yeah? After that is very easy to use because it can go in any place in this sequence. After that is very mobile. We can use after that, we can use it near the beginning, we can use it near the end, but it cannot be at the beginning and it cannot be usually at the end, okay? So maybe you could use it at the end, but we'll get there. We'll talk about that in a moment. The next one is then. Then. This one is also a very easy to use sequence word that we can place in different parts of the sentence, okay? So I think these two are the easiest ones to move around. I'll put next on this list too, next, okay? So these three, we can use them flexibly in our sequence, all right? I included this expression, when that's done, when that's done. So this means after something is finished, right? So first do step 1, then do step 2. After that's done, where that is an earlier step or an earlier task. When that's done, or you might hear after that's done. So this one is used usually, I feel usually kind of in the middle of the sequence or after you've finished something significant, okay? And then I have after that's finished as well here. So again, this, that. After that means after that is finished or after the previous step is finished, okay? So both of these can be used to show usually after something is, after a significant step is done. Lastly, we have these two. Finally and lastly. Finally and lastly come at the end, at the finish point, right? These two, you can choose your favorite. For me, finally often has the meaning of like, oh, we worked so hard and now, yay, we reached the end. It sounds like we did a lot. We had a lot of challenges to do. And finally, we're at the end. We reached the end, yay. Lastly is more neutral. It sounds like it's the last step. Okay, so if you want to have that feeling of a challenge finishing, you can use finally. If you want to be more neutral, you can just say lastly, okay? So sometimes when I talk a lot in a live stream, I go, oh my gosh, finally, we reached the end. Like I've been talking a lot, and so I'll use finally. But if I don't want to have that feeling, I'll use lastly, okay? So let's continue. All right, I don't see any questions coming in on YouTube. What happened to YouTube? I saw lots of people writing over here. Maybe you're listening. Okay, so let's go to our sequence. Now, your next task in this section is to put your own series of steps together to explain something. This can be something very, very easy to do, but you can put, let's say, minimum 3 steps. Can you put 3 steps minimum together? If you want a challenge, do 4 or 5 steps, and I'll try to read them. They might get really long in the chat. We'll find out, okay? Let's break down our steps then. So first step is using the word first. I'll change to red here. Using the word first to begin. First, open the software. So here we have the same basic command we practiced in part 1. First, open the software. Easy, yeah? Second, I have next, okay? Go to settings. Go to settings. This is a common way to talk about steps inside a computer software or inside like smartphone software. Next, go to settings. You'll often see these quotation marks that show you settings is the name of something, of a menu, yeah? So next, go to settings. You can see first, next. After that, click on image quality. After that, click on image quality. So again, the quotation marks show us this is the name of something inside settings. So settings, image quality is the next one. All right. Then my next sequence word, check. High quality. Okay. High quality. All right. And lastly, click apply. Okay. So in all of these, number 1, I have used these sequence words. First, next, after that, then lastly, right? These are very simple sentences. And all of these sentences use the basic command, right? These are very simple sentences. Also, I've included quotation marks around each menu item so that the viewer or the listener or the reader can understand it's the name of a menu item, okay? So all of these are very, very simple sentences, and they show the instructions very clearly, okay? All right, let's see what we've got in the chat. I see some things are coming up. Hey, Zach, I see you've put a bunch. I'm going to read Fatih's first. First, get up early. After that, take a shower. Then, drink coffee. Okay, good. How to start the day. Yeah, is maybe the title of your explanation. Good one. Okay. Oh, I see what you've done, Zach. You've put it across many sentences. So first, wet your hands with clean running water. Good. After that, scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. Then, rinse your hands thoroughly under the running water to wash away all soap and germs. Yep. And finally, dry your hands using a clean towel or an air dryer. Great. Zach taught us how to wash your hands. Great. Okay. Marcella wrote, may I use so? Well, so shows a cause and effect relationship. So, so because of that, in other words, because of that, we can't use so in here, right? I just used it naturally in that sentence. So we are not indicating a reason for something in these sentences. We are showing a series, a sequence of commands. So for that reason, we cannot use so in these kinds of steps, right? So I hope that answers your question. All right, some other examples are coming in. It was a good challenge, right, today? Okay, Patrick wrote, first type the web address. Next, look for that product. After that, click you want on. Sorry, maybe this is hard to see. This is on, O-N, click on. When we use click, the verb is on, click on. Click on buy, put in your address or put your address, okay, and wait for them to send to your home in 5 days, more or less. Good, very, very close. Nice, clear sequence, Patrick. Gold star. Okay, next one. The Black Eagle wrote, first, get a bowl. Next, add cereal in the bowl. After that, add milk in the bowl. Lastly, eat and enjoy your cereal. Perfect. How to enjoy cereal. Fantastic. This is hilarious. Okay. Facebook, what you got, Facebook? Graviel, I hope I said that right. Said, first, open your notebook, then write the lesson. After that, practice it. And finally, you'll be ready for the test. Oh, that's kind of nice. Okay. I would say, yeah, first open your notebook, then write the lesson. Okay, write the lesson, or maybe, and then write the lesson notes, maybe, could be good. After that, practice it. Finally, I would say maybe after that's finished, you'll be ready for the test. But finally, you'll be ready for the test is we can understand that. Nice, very nice. Okay, Nuha on Facebook wrote, first, visit your sister. Next, go to the hotel. After that, call your dad. Lastly, sleep very well. Okay, good. So you had a very nice day of visiting with your family there. Nice job, Nuha. Oh my gosh, these are really funny to me. Rocky wrote, okay, first, go hide somewhere to make a birthday surprise party. Next, stay where you are until I get home. After that, come out and shout happy birthday when you hear anybody home. Okay, interesting, interesting. Okay, I think that everybody has some good examples so far. But when you need to teach someone how to do something, like using software, it does not have to be really scary and complicated and difficult. These are very simple words we use in a sequence plus basic commands. Easy, right? Phew. Okay, good examples, everybody. Very entertaining. Let's, what time is it? Okay, well, I'll just remind you quickly. Maybe we don't need to show on screen control this, is that okay? All right, very quickly, if you missed it, the team has this free PDF ebook for you. You can download this for free. Oh my gosh, it's in the link below the video. If you're watching on YouTube, up here. If you're watching on Facebook, check it out. You can get it for free to learn the 2,000 core words of English. Yeah, I'll tell you again one more time later. But now, let's go to the last one. The last section today, I want to review request patterns. Because in part one today, I talked about very direct commands, right? And I mentioned to somebody, I think somebody wrote the sentence, pay for me. There are some situations like that where a direct command is maybe too direct. It's very strong, okay? Instead, to make it softer, you can make it a request, yeah? And by that I mean you make it a question, so the other person has a choice. In a direct command pattern, there's no choice, right? Someone tells you the instruction, like your boss or your parent. In this one, the person has a choice. So let's review two patterns, can you and will you, okay? What's the difference between them? Let's start with can you. So, can you, infinitive verb, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever relates to the verb. So, for example, can you help me with my homework? Can you help me with my homework? In this sentence, we have can you. Here's our verb, help me. And then in this case, we have with my homework. Can you help me with blah, blah, blah is a set phrase you can use. Can you help me with my homework? This sentence could be a basic command. Help me with my homework. So maybe you could say it to your brother or sister, or maybe your mom or your dad, if you want to be very direct. But using can you help me with my homework is much nicer generally, it's much softer, okay? So the earlier example, can you pay for me? Sorry, I forgot my wallet, sounds much better. If you say, pay for me, I forgot my wallet, it sounds a little rude, so please be careful of this. Minho has an example, can you make me a coffee? Thanks, okay. Zach has used could is also okay. Could you explain that concept to me one more time? So I'll add that here. Could you is also okay to use. Sounds a little bit more formal. Could you do that? We tend to use can you, and it gets reduced a lot. So at native speed, this sounds like, can you help me with my homework? Can you help me with my homework? Okay, Rocky wrote, excuse me, can you turn it down just a little? I'm about to sleep in about an hour. Okay, so maybe I'm going to sleep in about an hour. I'm about to sounds like I'm going to do it in a few minutes in my mind, usually. But yeah, up to you, I suppose. Okay, second example, can you buy milk at the store? Can you buy milk at the store? So a request again, can you, here's our verb, buy milk in this case. Can you buy milk at the store? Again, this sentence, buy milk at the store, is a command, right? But can you buy milk at the store? Sounds much nicer, yeah? So let's compare this pattern to will you. Will you, infinitive verb. If you've joined one of my lessons, many lessons, where I talk about will, you know we often use will for a decision we make in the moment, or something we just thought of and we've made a guess about it, or an idea we just had and we make some kind of prediction for the future. We're not so sure. So will you, infinitive verb, is for like a quick idea or a quick request we had. For example, will you bring me a glass of water? Will you bring me a glass of water? Will you, here, plus bring, in this case me. Will you bring me a glass of water? This sentence is very, very natural. Will you? Will you? This sentence is also very natural to use in this case. Can you? If we really break it down, can you means is it possible to? And will you is like kind of like, is this something you will do in the future, right? It's like you can use both of them. Can is more like a possibility, I suppose, but usually we use these two in the same kind of moment. You could use, can you bring me a glass of water, and will you bring me a glass of water? They're both 100% correct requests. But depending on the feeling, someone might choose to use will instead of can. This is up to you, really. Let's look at one more example. Will you send me that file? Will you send me that file? So will you is here. Here's our verb. Will you send me that file? So again, can you send me that file is also okay to do. For me, when I'm trying to decide between will and can, I feel like will sounds a little bit more like a little bit more direct. For me, will you is like between can you and a basic command. Like it's not super soft, but it's like I really want this thing. Will you send me that file? Will you send me that file? Sounds a little bit more direct, more like I need that file, than if I said, can you send me that file? That sounds a little softer to me. So this is my interpretation. But generally, when I want to be a little more direct, I'm closer to someone, like it's someone I live with or maybe a coworker I'm close to, I'll use will you. If it's someone I'm not super close to, I'll use can you. It's a little softer, more like a request. Is it possible? And we can level up these requests too. These are the basic ones. We can say, would it be possible to? Or if you could send that file, for example. There are different ways to express that. Okay, let's see what the chat says. Graybeal wrote, can you take note of this lesson for me, please? Right, can you take notes during this lesson, please? It depends on what you want to say, but okay. On the YouTube chat, what? Oh my gosh, the chat is exploding. Oh my gosh. Patrick, good question. Can I use may? May you buy milk at the grocery store to me? No, you cannot use may. May is used to ask permission. So that's not a request pattern. May I is okay to use. May I do something because you are requesting permission for yourself. So may I, another way to think about it is it okay if, right? So may I don't know, may I receive your help for my homework? You could make a request, a strange request like that. But no, may and can and will are not interchangeable. I hope that answers your question. So your question, may you buy milk at grocery store to me? We cannot use. Can you buy milk at the grocery store for me is the correct sentence. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, so many to catch up on. Nevian wrote, can you please confirm if the new order will arrive tomorrow morning or not? Great. Let's see, who haven't I read some examples from yet? Yes, oh my gosh, time is out. Marcello, will you get me something to eat? Good. Atlas wrote, will you come back tomorrow? So that sentence is correct. Will you come back home tomorrow, Atlas? Perfect sentence. However, it's not a request, right? That's a future tense question, right? So will you, yes, you are correct. It starts with will you. But when we make a request, we ask for something like for us, right? We want something, right? Your question is just a future tense question. Oh, will you come back home tomorrow? So yeah, correct, but a little different from today's point. Nice job though. Valon, yes. Is it used like, would you be able to blah, blah, blah? Yes. So if you want to make this sound more polite, more businessy, you can say, would you be able to? Or would it be possible to? Those sentences sound much more polite, they're fancier. We use those in business emails, right? So would you be able to? That kind of thing. You are correct. Okay. Fatih wrote, can you tell me where is the nearest underground station, please? Good. Okay. If you want to make that more natural, Fatih, say, can you please tell me where the nearest underground station is. That's a different grammar point than we're talking about today. That is called an embedded question. If you want to know more about that, I have some videos on that. Rocky wrote, will you please leave me alone? I'm having a bad day. Okay, very clear sentence. All right, and back on Facebook, Nuha wrote, can you invite me to join your group? Very nice. Okay, great. That all looks fantastic. I have to finish there because, again, I talked more than I needed to. It's amazing. So I'll just put the QR code on the screen now so you can take a photo for your lesson notes. I'll put this up here. And I'll also get out of the way so you can make a screenshot too. There is the QR code. Ta-da! So click that, download that, and then if you want a regular screenshot, now is your chance. Oh yeah, I forgot my last point. Make it polite. The easy way to make all of these sentences more polite, add please. Very easy, right? Can you please, infinitive verb. Will you please, infinitive verb. Or, oh, please before the sequence words, okay? Very, very easy to make it polite. All right, I have to stop there. Oh my gosh. So we'll finish there for today. Next week's live lesson, I'll be back, of course, next week. Same time, same channels. Oh my gosh. Next week, what did I plan for next week's live lesson? I always forget. Next week, I'm going to talk about, how to deliver positive and negative updates, okay? So like when somebody tells you good news, or when you want to share good news, how do you do that? And when you want to share bad news, or when somebody tells you bad news, how do you react to that, right? Those things are so important to be able to do, because if someone tells you bad news and you're like, oh, and you don't know what to say, it's like, oh no, like they want your support in that moment. So how do you react to that? So next week we're going to practice giving and receiving positive and negative updates. Very important skill. So please join me again next week, same time. That is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. If you don't know your local time, please Google it. Or just the easy thing, just set a notification on Facebook or on YouTube, and then you get a pop-up when we start the live stream. That's super easy, right? So please come join me again next week for that lesson. In the meantime, if you haven't yet, please make sure, now is your chance, go and download the free PDF ebook the team has created, the 2,000 words of the core 2,000 words of English. These are the most commonly used words for everyday communication. So go download this for free at EnglishClass101.com and enjoy the vocabulary boost. You can print it, you can put it on your phone, you can put it on your computer, put it on your refrigerator, put it on your, I don't know, forehead, wherever. Go crazy with your studies. All right, I have to go. So thank you everybody for joining me live this week. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. And thank you for your great questions and comments. That was really fun. We had some long challenge sections today. That was a good time. Anyway, I'll say goodbye for this week. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you again next time. Bye. Hi everybody, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alisha, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to talk about giving positive and negative news. Today, I want to talk about all of the different expressions we use in positive situations, in negative situations, and in waiting situations when we need to give someone an update. There are a lot of expressions that we can use on a scale from casual to very formal. So today, I want to break down a lot of these different expressions and help you understand when you might use them. Plus, we're also going to talk about some of the small meanings, the nuances in these expressions. So I hope this is a really helpful lesson for work, for school, and of course also just in your friendships and in relationships too. So please make sure to hit the like button as you join this lesson, and also share it too so that other people can find this video. That would be awesome. Send a message in the chat too if you're watching live so I can come and say hello to everybody in just a moment. While we wait for everyone to join us live, I want to remind you about this banner at the bottom of the screen that says free. PDF cheat sheets. The team has created so many of these free PDF cheat sheets. We counted just before the stream started today to see how many there are. There are just under 50 right now. So if you have not checked recently, go and log into your EnglishClass101.com account and go get the new ones for free. If you have never seen this before, that's okay. You can make a free account and go download all of them if you want to. There's information about like specific topics like shopping and travel and money, and the team has added some to practice conversations like calling someone on the phone and other things as well. So you can see, oh, there's some, you can see them on the screen here now. There are a lot of different ones to choose from, so check them out and you can find whatever is interesting to you or download them all. Okay, all right, I'll say hello everybody in the chat. Hello, Renee, Zach, Stalin, Patrick, Natalie, hi, let's see, someone says live is not clear. Can you be more specific? Inazuma, what's up? Raphael, Rocky, hello. Welcome everyone on YouTube. Facebook, I don't see messages on Facebook, but some of you are there. So send me a message on Facebook and we'll get started. If you haven't, please, please, please hit the like button because it does help us a lot. Okay, let's begin today's video then. Okay, I want to start with positive expressions, okay? Oh, somebody says that I'm freezing apparently. Okay, maybe it's a connection issue. We're not sure, but we're definitely, control desk is working on it. We're working on it there. Okay, so I'll continue for now though. We have today 3 categories of expressions we're going to talk about. The first is positive ones. And for today, I created a scale from casual expressions to formal expressions, okay? So in the casual section, I want to talk about one that you've probably seen many times before. We're gonna start with just a way to give positive news that's very friendly and very exciting, yeah? Which is just, oh my gosh, or oh my god, okay? This one, maybe you've seen it abbreviated as OMG before, okay? So this just means oh my gosh or oh my god. We use it to express surprise. So the key with this one, we can use this one for positive news and for negative news, I want to point out. So this one is very useful. You can use it in a lot of situations. But you should know this is very casual. When you talk to your boss, for example, I don't recommend you use this one. If you are talking to your friend or to your family member, great, you can use this one. It's very, very natural, okay? Second then, I want to talk about this one. You're not gonna believe this, but. You're not gonna believe this, but. This is an expression that's a little casual, but friendly still. We use this one to introduce usually positive news that's very surprising. So I'll include the word surprise over here. Something that is surprising. You're not gonna believe this. So in this sentence we have you're not gonna. This gonna is the casual reduced form of going to. You're not going to believe this, but. The key here is this but. You're not going to believe this, but plus surprising information. Like, you're not going to believe this, but I got that job I applied for that was so difficult. Like, that application was so difficult. So you use this to introduce some kind of shocking, in a good way, news. So it's really surprising and exciting, but maybe it's something that's hard to believe. So you can use this expression to do that. Again, this should be the negative. You're not going to believe this, but it introduces surprise. So this is a great, more casual way to do that. Okay? Hello to everybody joining. You can try to send me your homework, if you're watching this in the chat, is to send me your example. Give me some positive news using one of these expressions. Okay? So the next one on the list is just an easy one, great news. And then follow that with your news. So great news, I got a new job, right? I got a new job. Something easy to understand. I put this one in the middle because we can use it in casual situations and we can use it in formal situations. So great news, I got a new job. Something that's just easy to understand, right? Something you don't need to give surprise about or like give a surprised feeling about. Something that's just kind of neutral, right? In terms of like how you want to deliver the information. All right. Some examples are coming in. Fantastic. Zach wrote, I'm delighted to inform you that we've successfully completed the first phase. Very nice one, Zach. More on the formal side there. You've invented one. Great. Rocky wrote, hey, you're not going to believe this, but there was a Christmas party at the library. That was last year anyway. Okay, good. There was a Christmas party at the library. Unusual place, maybe, for a Christmas party. Nice one. Okay. Inazuma wrote, you're not going to believe this, but I just won a lottery of $1 million. That's a lie. Well, good example. Okay. I just won the lottery. Or to make that natural, we would say, I just won $1 million in the lottery. That would be how we say that one. Great example. Good. Okay. So let's continue to this next one then. I'm so happy to say that. I'm so happy to say that. I got this in an email this week, actually. Great example. So this one was a professional email. Someone shared good news with me. I'm so happy to say that. Or, of course, you can say, I'm very happy to say that, blah, blah, blah. I'm very happy to say that. And then we end this, again, with a simple sentence. I'm very happy to say that let's use the example from earlier. You won the prize. You won the prize. So this part that follows the section in black here, I'm so happy to say that you won the prize, gives us the good news, the good information. I'm so happy to say that, or I'm very happy to say that, okay? All right, so let's continue then to the final one. I'm thrilled to share that. I'm thrilled to share that. This one I put in the formal section. We often use this kind of expression to announce a new job or some kind of new opportunity or a professional situation. For example, when you go to a speaking event, for example, if I go to give a presentation at a conference, I could say, I'm thrilled to share that I will be speaking at this conference next month. Or I'm thrilled to share that I'm starting a new position next month. So we often use I'm thrilled to share that before professional news. If you use LinkedIn, you will probably see I'm thrilled to share this a lot. This is a very common professional expression for professional news. So I'll put pro here to mean professional. This is for professional announcements. Okay? All right, I see some people joined on Facebook. Musa, what's up? Tahir, hello. Someone, I can't read your name. Let's see. YouTube went down 2 hours ago. Oh dear, it seems there might be some problems with YouTube side today. Oh my gosh, but some people said the connection is getting better, so thanks for your updates, everybody. It seems if there's an issue, YouTube's having a moment today. Okay, all right, let's see some other examples. Mino wrote, I'm thrilled to share this. Our crazy boss finally got fired. Oh my gosh, okay. So in that case, you maybe would just say that to your coworkers, I suppose. Probably you don't want to post something like that on social media, maybe. I mean, it depends on the person. But yeah, usually we use this to talk about positive professional news. But your grammar is perfect, Mino. Nice one. Okay, Inazuma wrote, I'm thrilled to say, so make sure you don't forget this, I'm, right? I'm thrilled to say is okay. Thrilled to say is okay. Make sure that this is not past tense, right? Notice how share and say are both the base verb form. I'm thrilled to say or I'm thrilled to share, yeah? English Class 101 is the best program to learn English. True story. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to hear you enjoy our videos. Great. Zach wrote, I'm pleased to let you know that I got a promotion. Okay, I'm pleased to let you know. Nice. Personally, I probably would not use that, but I'm sure some people would. For me, I'm pleased to, I prefer I'm pleased to share, I guess. I feel like let you know is a little less formal, a little casual, and I'm pleased to feels formal, so mixing the two feels a little unnatural to me, but it's not incorrect. Okay. Rocky wrote, I'm happy to say that I've received special gifts from my mom. Okay. I feel like that's a very casual one. So I might say something like this. I might use, great news, I got some special gifts from my mom, or something like that. Or like, oh my gosh, I got some like treats from my mom. I would use probably something casual there. At work, maybe I would use the expression you used. Okay, great. So that's part one, positive points. Casual, to formal. Let's take a quick break and then we'll go to part 2 where we talk about the negative side. This is the side that I think gets harder to understand because we like to make negative news a little softer, yeah? Okay, so I'll take a quick break to remind you about the team's PDFs. Oh my gosh, I mentioned it earlier, but the team has created many, many new PDFs, and you can find them all on this page. Just click the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. The team has, of course, the classic PDFs you can download, but if you have not checked recently, they have added some new ones on this page. You can scroll to find the ones that you want to get, or you can come to this page and download all of them. It's up to you. They are all free, so check them out. I hope they help you to build your vocabulary and to give you some practice in a few dialogue situations, some conversational situations. So check those out. Those are at EnglishClass101.com. You just need your name and an email address to make a free account there, and then you can download everything. So go crazy. All right, let's continue. If you haven't, please, please, please make sure to hit the like button and share this video so other people can find today's lesson. Okay, let's continue to part 2. Negative news. How do we give negative news, and what do these sentences mean? Because these are tricky. Hello to everyone joining. I think I saw on Facebook someone, what's your name, Justin? It just scrolled away. What's up, Jose? Yes, Justin, hello. And Jose as well, hello. And Saidul from Bangladesh, what's up? And then on YouTube, hello everybody on YouTube. Good. Okay, I think I said hello to everybody. Oh, Alexandre, hello everybody. Okay, let's go to the negatives then. All right. Negatives. We are going to begin with the same one we talked about in part 1. Oh my gosh and oh my god. This one, as I mentioned before, we make it shorter in writing, OMG. You see this in like Instagram comments and Twitter posts and social media, YouTube comments, of course. We can use oh my gosh, oh my god in both positive and negative situations. Please note, it is very, very casual. So okay for social media, okay for your friends, maybe don't use it with your boss again. So we can use this for negative situations. For example, at your computer, talking to yourself, when you go, oh my gosh, I forgot to attach a file to my email. Or, oh my gosh, I made a mistake in my email. You can use that for negative updates also, yeah? But again, very casual. All right, so let's continue to the next one. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to say that. This looks probably similar to I'm thrilled to share that, right? I'm sorry to say that. What's important here is this part. I'm sorry to say, okay? This part, I'm sorry, we understand as a regular apology. Like, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. The difference here, I'm sorry to say that, means I'm giving you a message, right? So maybe I did not make a mistake, but I must tell you something that makes me sad. Like, oh no, some bad news for you, right? Maybe not my mistake or I'm not the reason, but I have to tell you something. So this, I'm sorry to say, the to say here is very important. So I'm sorry to say that, not so good news. So for example, I'm sorry to say that you did not win the prize. You did not win the prize, okay? Something maybe less, because it's kind of more casual, it's something that's maybe less serious, right? So if you say, I'm sorry to say that your family member is very sick and will pass away, that's very serious. So we would use something on the formal side. I would not recommend something very, very casual like this. Instead say, I'm sorry to say that you did not win the prize. Something a little lighter. For a very heavy situation, like a family member or a friend in a serious condition, we use a formal expression to do that, okay? So I'm sorry to say is a really good thing to remember here. Okay? Or I'm sorry to have to say, which leads us into the next one, which is, this one's long, but this one is a very popular one. So let's read it and let's break it down. So, I hate to have to be the one to tell you this, but, okay? That's kind of a good rhythm, right? At native speed, this sounds like, I hate to have to be the one to tell you this, but, right? It's really fast. So let's break this one down. So we have, I hate to have to be, right? So we have this part, I hate to have to be. It has a nice rhythm. I hate to have to be the one to tell you this. So first, I hate. This is like a level up from I'm sorry. So this means I dislike, but my responsibility is to tell you this information. So I hate to have to be the one. What does this mean? It means I am the one with responsibility to tell you this information, and I hate it. Okay? This means I have to give you bad news, and I don't want to give you bad news. So this is a very useful expression, especially in work situations. I hate to have to be the one to tell you this, but you were not selected for the promotion. It sounds like, it's not my decision. It's not my decision, but I have to tell you this. So maybe like your company's like HR person has to give some bad news, or maybe somebody you're close to has to give you some really bad news. Like, I hate to have to be the one to tell you this, but your car was broken into. Something like that that's like, oh, I don't want to tell you. This is really uncomfortable, but it's really important. So this is a really good one to show you feel uncomfortable. You don't want them to be mad. Maybe you've also heard the common idiom, don't shoot the messenger. I didn't include this today, but there's also an expression called don't shoot the messenger, which means, it's a kind of violent image, but it means don't get angry with me. Like, I'm just giving you a message. I did not do this bad thing. Don't shoot the messenger. So the messenger means the person who gives you the message. So it's like, please don't be angry with me. I have to tell you this unhappy thing, okay? All right, let me check the chat. Nuha on Facebook wrote, I'm sorry to say that I forgot to send you the money. Great example. That's a perfect example. Nice one, Nuha. Great. I'm sorry to say that I forgot to send you the money. Great. And then I'll send it tomorrow or something is a great way to fix that. That's a perfect example, a perfect real world example. Okay, let's check YouTube. Alexandra, did you, maybe you've used unfortunately here. Unfortunately, when I travel to the US, I can't get real conversations between Americans. Do you mean you couldn't have a real conversation with an American? Or you couldn't hear conversations? Or you couldn't understand? So you've used get in that sentence. What does get mean for you in that one? Maybe you can give a different verb to explain that one, but you're very close there. Okay, Inazuma wrote, I'm sorry to say that I can't pay for a membership for an English class one-on-one plan. I'm extremely sorry. You don't have to be sorry. That's okay. Everybody has a different situation. Thanks for joining us all the time. That's awesome. Okay, Zach wrote, Zach has a good one. After careful consideration, we've decided to go in a different direction. That's a very corporate, a very businessy expression. I have not included that one here. After careful consideration, the answer is no. That means we thought about it for a long time and we decided the answer is no. We are not going to choose you. That's a common job rejection message. Thanks for that one, Zach. Mino wrote, I hate to have to be the one to tell you this, but our office will be closed by the end of December. Great example, good. Like, oh, our business is closing, our office is closing. I'm so sorry. Great example, that's nice. Okay, others. The Black Eagle wrote, I'm sorry to say that there will be mass layoffs next week. Ooh, okay, I would recommend something more formal for that situation because that's a very serious situation. That means many people, mass layoffs they're going to lose their jobs. So I recommend these. Let's get into these too. Let's see, Rocky has one more. I'm sorry to say that I left my gym card by accident. Good example, really good example. Okay, so let's talk about some more formal expressions here. So first I've got unfortunately. This one's a very obvious, very simple and easy to use, unfortunately. But sometimes the situation is more serious. So this is good for an everyday situation. Like somebody sent an example earlier today that was like, I
I forgot to send you the money. Or so maybe in that situation, but more formal. Like, for example, in a business email, like, oh, unfortunately, the payment was not completed on time. We will make the payment tomorrow. Something like that. Think about unfortunately as like the I'm sorry. You could think of it as like the same kind of level. Like we're politely saying, I'm sorry, or it's unfortunate, or something like that. So this one is very short and simple and easy to remember. So it's good to use for everyday situations. Yeah, I think that. Okay, so let's continue to the next one, which is I'm afraid that. I'm afraid that. This one causes a lot of confusion because I'm afraid. This does not mean I'm scared, okay? I'm afraid that means I am sorry about something and bad news is going to come out of my mouth soon. So I'm afraid that blah, 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 bad news. I'm afraid that, for example, in a job situation, in a job hunting situation, I'm afraid that we selected a different candidate. Oof, that one's very direct. So in this sentence, I've chosen an active voice example. I'm afraid that we selected a different candidate this time. Like, we wish you the best of luck next time. So I'm afraid that doesn't mean I'm scared of something. It's just a way to introduce bad news. Probably in this situation, they would use a passive voice, like, I'm afraid that a different candidate has been selected. So I've used active here, but maybe passive is a little more common. Okay, let's look at one more then. Oh, hang on. There's some examples I missed. Sorry, Facebook. Shafila wrote, I'm sorry to say that his father has been sick. Okay, good example. Good example. If it's not a serious illness, that's good. Tahir wrote, is it a new expression to have in English language? No, to have is very common. If you don't know the uses of to have, you should, if you're using Facebook, you can use Facebook or Google. Do a search for my videos about have. I have a lot. So check out the grammar point have to. You want have to. So that will tell you about the responsibility meaning of have. Okay, and you sent an example. I'm sorry to say that I have been absent for a long time. Okay, good, good. Okay, let's continue to the next one then, the last one, because time is quickly going away. Last one is a really important rejection message. We often see this in university rejection emails and in job rejection emails. The expression is, we regret to inform you. We regret to inform you, or we regret to inform you that, okay? We regret to inform you that you were not selected for the university, or you were not selected for the position. Why is it phrased like this? Why is it this? Often we use we, because it's softer. If I say, I regret to inform you, it sounds like maybe only me. I made the decision. Usually when a message comes from a company, it sounds like this is the company's decision. Makes it softer, right? We regret to inform, okay? To inform means to tell, right? To tell something. And regret means you feel bad about something. We regret to inform you. That means we feel bad about telling you this. You were not selected, okay? That's what that means. It's the same meaning as I'm sorry to say, okay? Same meaning, but this is a formal way to say it. This is used when you receive, from universities and from companies usually. So if you see a message that starts with, we regret to inform you, it means bad news, yeah? Usually in these formal situations. Okay, all right, let me check the chat. Mino has a great example. We regret to inform you that that we won't make a new contract with you. That's very direct. So we regret to inform you that we won't, usually we soften it, we won't be making a new contract with you. That one is tough because that means before you had a contract together, now the contract is ending and the company does not want to continue. Oh, that feels so bad. But yeah, good example, good example. Zach, you wrote, we regret to inform you that you're not qualified for the job. That is very direct. So the purpose of we regret to inform you is like to make it softer. when you say, we regret to inform you, blah, 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 it's usually a soft reason that follows. If you follow it with, you're not qualified, that sounds very direct, right? Instead, we regret to inform you that we've selected a candidate with a different set of qualifications. So that's an indirect way of saying we didn't feel you were qualified enough. So I recommend a softer expression after this, okay? Good. Nevian wrote, we regret to inform you that you have not been selected to attend our upcoming conference. Perfect example. That's a perfect example, Nevian. Way to go. I love that one. Well done. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm already late. I love to explain. Okay, let's quickly go into the last set of phrases then, because these are also extremely important to know how to use. Let's see, I missed one on Facebook, sorry. Nuha wrote, we regret to inform you that your trip is canceled. Great example, your trip is canceled, like due to weather, maybe. Great example there, something that's like a business situation. Okay, so let's quickly go through the last section here. I called it waiting, because sometimes we are between like status points, yeah? When we have the news, we can use the positive and the negative phrases to express that, yeah? But sometimes we are waiting for the news. We're waiting for information. So how do we express that? To do that in a casual way, we can say, not sure yet. So when your boss or your friend says, hey, what's the update? You go, not sure yet. I don't know yet. You can use these two for these very casual situations. The key here is yet. Yet. Yet means you expect to receive some information soon. Okay, so yet is very important. I don't know yet. I'm not sure yet. And then usually we give the reason, like, oh, I don't know yet. I'm not sure yet. You can explain with an expression like this. I'm just waiting on person. I'm just waiting on, okay? On. Or you might also hear for. I'm just waiting for person, okay? Like, hey, do you know like when we're going to dinner next month? You can say, oh, I don't know yet. I'm just waiting for my roommate to confirm her schedule. Or I'm just waiting for my husband to like figure out his work plans. So waiting on or waiting for, both are okay. I feel like waiting on sounds a little bit more like, this person is causing problems. It's like, hey, what's the status with that project? I don't know yet. I'm waiting on so-and-so to do something. On sounds a little more irritated than for in my mind. So you can use I'm just waiting on person to explain the reason you don't know yet. So this is a helpful one to give some information. Okay, continuing. We're still waiting for updates. We're still waiting for updates. This one is helpful. I've used we here because we use this one in like company situations between like your team and your client or your team and another team. So when your boss says, hey, please give me the latest update, you can say, well, we're still waiting for updates. And maybe you can say, we're just waiting for this team to tell us something. So you can use something like this, which means we are waiting also. We don't know yet. But these expressions, I don't know or I'm not sure, might sound a little unprofessional. This shows you are like paying attention. You are waiting. And note here, we are still waiting. Still shows it's been some time. So this is going on for some time, right? So still can be helpful, but you don't have to include it. Like, oh, we're waiting for updates is okay to use also, but we're still waiting for updates sounds like it's been a long time. So this is a helpful one in a professional situation. I've included also in this blue box here, this expression, I'm not sure how much longer it's going to take. For example, when you make an order for something, you order something from a designer or you order, a website or something like that, or you order a product online. And someone asks, how much longer? How long do we have to wait? You can say, I'm not sure how much longer it's going to take. When you don't have any information, you don't know who is supposed to give you something, you can say, I'm not sure how much longer it's going to take, okay? So this one is a longer, slightly more polite way to say, I don't know yet. So you can use this one. Time's going quick, so let's finish up. These two I've included for planning situations. Sometimes you are waiting for more information in order to make a decision, yeah? So I'm waiting to learn more about this. I'm waiting to learn more about this, or we need to learn more before moving forward. This means we need more information and then we will make a decision. So these two are used to mean we need to get more information first. After that, we will continue going forward. These two are more like formal situations or maybe serious life situations. For example, buying a house or buying a car or maybe getting married or having a baby. You might use more formal situations or more formal expressions in those serious life situations. Okay? Phew, we made it. Oh my gosh, time is like out. Let me check the chat quickly. Oh my gosh, Patrick wrote, we regret to inform you this month your check payment will come late. We have had issues with payments from other clients. Really close. Good, great example, Patrick. A couple of fixes for you. We regret to inform you this month your payment will come late. We have had issues, or we have been having issues. Both are okay. We've been having issues with payments from other clients. That's a perfect example. Nice one. Okay. Rinkesh wrote, we regret to inform you that your salary has been deducted due to company losses. Oh, that's a bad one. Good example. I hope that doesn't happen to anybody, but that's a very serious situation. Let's see. Inazuma wrote, any updates about our school projects? I don't know. I'm waiting for my group mates for any updates. Good, good, good. I would maybe use I'm waiting on my group mates. Because that sounds a little bit irritating. All right, I have to finish. Oh my gosh, I really have to finish. It's my deadline time. So I'll finish there for today. Oh, if you want to take a screenshot, now is your chance. Ta-da! Great, good. Next week, I'll be back at the same time, same channels, to talk about time. Oh my gosh, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's New York City time. If you don't know your local time, you could Google it. We're going to talk about explaining time with at, in, by, and I have when, after, and once also included in there. We have a lot to do next week, so please join me for preposition review. Don't forget to get the downloads, the free downloads, oh my gosh, that are here in the banner. Check the link below the video or above the video to get that. Sorry for a quick ending today, everybody, but thank you so much for joining me live this week, and I will see you again next week. Have a great day, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alisha, and in this week's live lesson, we're going to practice using prepositions. Today, we're going to talk about time using by, at, and in, and today we're also going to practice some sequence-related words. I chose when, after, and once for today. So in today's lesson, we're going to practice expressing schedules, and we're going to put it together to talk about how we add sequences and add steps to a schedule, and how we connect the parts of our schedules together. This is a super important communication skill, so I hope everybody gets a good chance to practice, ask some questions, and make some example sentences in the chat or in the comment section if you're watching this later. So as you join live, please make sure to hit the like button, and of course share this video because it does help other people find the lesson. And of course send a message live in the chat. I'll come and say hello in just a moment. And while we wait for everybody to join us live, I want to mention this banner at the bottom of the screen which says download your free PDF cheat sheets now. The team has created a whole bunch of free PDFs for you to download. Oh, okay, I have something different then. Oh, all right. Well, I'll come back to that in just a second. So the team is going to get back to us with that with just a moment. But there's definitely something for you to check out. So, oh, sorry, I had it wrong. The information in the chat was a little bit wrong. It says we have a forever discount for you today, so check that out. You can find all of the details from the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. The team has created a forever discount, the monster sale, for you to check out. So now is a super, super good time for you to find all of the information and choose the plan that is the best for you. So check that out. So I'll remind you about that again later. But in the meantime, I will come and say hello to the chat. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our weekly live stream. Hello, Oscar, Huang, Mauricio, Vailon, Omar, Rocky, Natalie, Shamim from Bangladesh, Elki, Jitendra, Fatih, Patrick, Burak. Oh my gosh, so many people. Facebook, I don't see you yet. Facebook is maybe doing something interesting, but we'll come back there in just a second. So let's get into today's topic, and we'll take a look at our prepositions. Our first preposition is by. So by is used to show a deadline or an end point or a stop point for a condition or for an action. So when we use by, we often use it to talk about a deadline, okay? So that means that when you have to, for example, give a school application for something, or when you have to do a job application, or when you need to reply to a client, we will often use by to mark the last chance to do that, okay? So here's a quick timeline to help you understand how we use by. On this timeline, I've got this black line. The star, in this case, means now, this point, yeah? And then this direction, this is the future. So if we imagine this red line is our activity time or our condition time, yeah? The X marks the last point. This marks our deadline. This is the point we use by to mark, okay? So by marks the end point of an action. Also, important to know about by is that when we use by for a deadline, it means this time before the end point is also okay for the deadline. So for example, if we look at this example sentence, it means before the deadline is also okay or is also possible. So let's look at this example then with, I plan to finish work by 7 p.m. I plan to finish work by 7 p.m. So in this sentence we have, I plan to finish work by, oops, let me make that red, by 7 p.m. By 7 p.m. So here we have by. After by is the deadline. In this situation, by is like this point on the timeline. So this means I'm going to finish work, or I plan to finish work in this time period, and the last possible point, the last possible time is 7 p.m. So 6 p.m. is also okay. 6:30 p.m. is also okay. All this time is included in that. 7 p.m. is the last possible point, okay? So you can send your by example sentences in the chat. Hello, everybody joining. Hello, Vladimir on Facebook, and Sandy on Facebook also, and everyone else joining on YouTube. Hello, Zero and Tai and Farhad. Welcome, everybody. Let's go to the next sentence with by then. Next is, can you please email that file by lunch? Can you please email that file by lunch? Okay, in this sentence we have a request. We know because we have can you please. Can you please email that file by lunch? So in this situation, we have lunch as our point in time. So this means we don't have to use only time of day. We can use a point in the day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, break, something everybody in the conversation understands, yeah? So lunch is our last point, is our deadline point here. Can you please email that file by lunch? Means before lunch is also okay. It means lunch is the last possible point. I need the file by lunch. Maybe I'm going to send it to a client after lunch, okay? So again, any time before the deadline is also okay, all right? Let's look at the last example sentence because we're going to connect this one to our sequence word for part one, which is, applications must be submitted by Friday.
Applications must be submitted by Friday. This is a very common type of deadline sentence for a job application, a school application, a contest application. In this sentence, we know it's official. It's a rule because we use must. Applications must be submitted. Sounds like a very official rule. Then we have by here. In this case, the deadline point is Friday. Here on our timeline, this point is the last day to submit the application. That means Thursday is okay, Wednesday is okay, Tuesday is okay. All days before Friday are okay with by, okay? So we can use this to show all the time before and then the last point of that, okay? Control Desk asks, what about all day on Friday? End of day? Yes, sometimes the deadline will say, all applications must be submitted by end of day on Friday, or applications must be submitted by 5 p.m. on Friday. Sometimes there is a time included. Usually if it gives you a day, it means by the end of the day, in my opinion, but sometimes there is a specific time, so please pay attention to that. Okay, so we use by for deadlines. Then I want to connect this to our first sequence word, okay? So the first one I want to use here is when. When. We have a couple different uses of when. We can use when to show oh my gosh, I made a typo, a simultaneous action. Sorry, everybody. Simultaneous action. Let me rewrite that. A simultaneous action is an action that happens at the same moment as another action, but we don't always use it for a continuing action. Okay, so let me fix my typo there. Sorry, everybody. My simultaneous action means, like, when we do something, when I do action A, I will also do action B. So we're showing a sequence or a connection. This is different from while. While shows two actions continuing. I'm not going to talk about while today. But for today, I want to focus on when to show the next condition, that an action triggers another condition. So what do I mean by that? So if we use this example sentence, applications must be submitted by Friday, we can include a condition for the action with when. For example, when you submit, sign your name. When you submit, sign your name. This means at the time of application, sign your name, right? So this means the two actions are connected when you submit. How do we know this is true? So often we have a sequence like this where there will be a key word, often the verb, that is the same to give us details about part of the process. So applications must be submitted by Friday. When you submit, or when you submit your application, please sign your name. So this means at the time of the application, please do this step. So that's like saying that this condition, or in this situation, this next condition is also important. So we use when to show these connections between our conditions and our actions, okay? Let me take a look at the chat. I see a few messages have come in. Nevian wrote, to apply for this position, you need to submit your application by October 25th. Perfect. Very nice example sentence. Okay. And Patrick wrote, can you clean that room by morning? We have to work there in the afternoon. In the afternoon. We'll come back to in and at later, Patrick. Very nice one with your request. Can you clean that room by morning? That'd be great. That'd be great. Right. Okay. Rocky wrote, my homeschool starts by 1 p.m. Is this correct here? I would think probably no. Usually school starts at a specific time. I don't know the rules of your school. Usually we use at to show a start time for something. So maybe I will answer your question in part 2. So please check part 2 for this, okay? Others, Victor wrote, I hope to finish writing, right? You're gonna connect finish, start and finish verbs. Often we use those to connect with the ing verb form after. I hope to finish writing my book by December. Then it's perfect, okay? Street wrote, hold on, so by means until or before. No, we cannot use them interchangeably. I did not include until in today's example or today's lesson. It's just too much information, but I have a video for you, Street. I have a video called By and Until right there on YouTube. Check that one to answer your questions. I hope that one helps you. So they are different. They are different, okay? Zero wrote, can you finish your homework by lunch? Perfect, very nice. Ha-ki wrote, can I pay by card? That's a different use of by, but your sentence is perfect, great. Today we are using by to talk about time, so that by uses or expresses a method. But yes, your sentence is correct. Okay, Facebook, I see no examples over there. Are you okay? Is everybody there? Facebook, your YouTube classmates are doing a great job. Okay, we will finish part 1 there for today then. So let's take a quick break and then we'll go into part 2, discussing at, when to use at. So if you missed it earlier, I want to remind you about this banner at the bottom of the screen, which mentions the Monster discount. If you want to get an amazing discount right now, you can find all of the details from the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. The team has a really, really great discount for you right now. You can find the plan that looks the best for you at EnglishClass101.com. Choose from all of the different types, find all of the tools you want to use. So if you want to get more of my lessons, more resources like vocabulary study tools, and you want to get scripts to read, you can check that out. So I hope that's a great chance for many of you to start learning with us. Super cool. Okay, let's continue. If you haven't, please, please, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so other people can find today's lesson. All right, let's continue to part 2, using at. Okay, so we use at to express the specific time or moment something happens. Okay, we use at to describe our daily schedule a lot. So today I made a very short part of a schedule to use for our example sentences today. So first let's look at the schedule. 11 o'clock in the morning, 11 a.m. team meeting, 12 o'clock lunch, 1 o'clock nothing. Okay, so how can we use this schedule to talk about our day, right? And how can we use at to do that? Let's look at 3 different situations, okay? First one, let's talk about this first line in our schedule. I have a meeting at 11. So in this sentence, we have our preposition at. I have a meeting at 11. This at shows us the specific time something happens. In this sentence, I have a meeting at 11. So the topic or the action is before the preposition. Okay? The time comes after the preposition. We do not use by here. We do not use in here. At shows us the time or the moment something happens. Okay? Let's look at the next sentence. Let's talk about this at lunch. Let's talk about this at lunch. In this sentence, our preposition at is here. After this, we have lunch, which shows us the moment or the situation. So at can be used before a time, that's okay. At can also be used in a situation like lunch or a party or a cup of coffee, right? Let's talk about this at dinner. Let's talk about this at our cocktail party later. So we use this for a moment, yes, but you might also hear when you use a meal, this is just an extra little advanced point, when you use this before a meal, you might also hear over used. Let's talk about this over lunch. Let's talk about this over dinner. You might hear overused in this position, which sounds, in my mind, it's easy to imagine your words are coming out over on top of your meal. Yeah? So it's like you're discussing a topic on top of or over the meal you are eating. So maybe it's kind of a funny way to think about it, but maybe it can help you to remember that information. So let's talk about this at lunch. is a great way to casually say you want to discuss something. 12 p.m. Then, how can we talk about this part? We have nothing at 1 o'clock, right? So we can also use at for this kind of situation. I don't have anything scheduled at 1. I don't have anything scheduled at 1. This is very important. I know it seems maybe strange, but it's very important to be able to express your free time or a free point in your schedule. Here we have the negative. I don't have anything scheduled, or I don't have anything on is another way to say that. To have something on is a casual way to say to have something planned. So we can also use planned here, scheduled here, on. I don't have anything planned, I don't have anything scheduled, I don't have anything on. On is the most casual. Anyway, my point. We can use at for a time period where there is no plan, but we need to talk about that specific time, right? So when you're planning a meeting, you can say, oh, I have time at 1, or I don't have anything scheduled at 1. So this is a very useful point. I know it seems strange because it's open, right? But this is very, very useful to do. Okay, let me see your examples. Erickson wrote, I will visit your house. You don't need to say visit to, but I will visit your house tomorrow at 5 p.m. Perfect use of at. Nice job, Erickson. Rocky wrote, my class is at 1 p.m. and class dismissed at 2 p.m. And you fixed your answer. You wrote, you were asking about by before. Good, I'm glad you found the answer. My class is at 1 p.m. and class, we usually say class is dismissed at 2 p.m. That does sound a little more formal. Usually we say, my class is at 1 p.m. And class ends at 2, or even more efficient, my class is from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. There's a bunch of different ways, many different ways we can talk about this. Today, I'm not covering from, but I hope at can help you out there. My class starts at 1 and ends at 2 is a good way to use at 2 times there. Okay, the Black Eagle wrote, the guests will arrive at the party at 8 p.m. Very nice. Good. Okay. Let's see. Oscar wrote, I'll have a job interview tomorrow at noon. Maybe I have rather than I'll have. I'll have is like making a decision now. Yeah? We want to say I have to describe your scheduled plan for tomorrow. So I have a job interview tomorrow at noon. Sounds great. Okay? Chris wrote, I need to study at 1. Great. Very nice example. Perfect use. Fatih wrote, I don't have time now. Let's talk at 6 p.m. Perfect. Good. Zira wrote, I have a session at 12 p.m. Okay, grammar is great. Maybe you could say I have a training session at 12 p.m. or I have a consulting session at 12 p.m. To be clear about the type of session could be good. Asaf wrote, I will come to grab you at 3 p.m. Okay, good. Yeah, like I'll come grab you or I'll come get you at 3 p.m. Great. Okay, so let's take a look now at our next sequence word, because time's going quickly. The next sequence word I want to include quickly for today is after. After. If you joined maybe the lesson 2 or 3 weeks ago, I talked about sequence words, the ones we use to express the steps of a situation. So I want to review one now. That is after. So after shows the next step in the sequence. Yeah? So if we imagine we connect this example sentence to this example sentence. Let's say we connect this one and this one. Let's talk about this at lunch. After lunch, let's do some research. So after comes before our point in time or our moment. In this case, lunch. So after lunch, let's do some research. We show the sequence of actions or the sequence of steps with after. So this is a really useful one to use to naturally show the steps. And I like after because we can use it all throughout the process. At the beginning of a sequence, in the middle of a sequence, near the end of a sequence, not the end, but at the end of a sequence, close to the end. So after is easy to use in many different situations. So we can use after naturally, in this case, to show the step after lunch, for example, or after the meeting, right? I have a meeting at 11 o'clock. let's talk after the meeting, for example. Or let's talk after that also. So we can use after to connect it to our next idea very naturally. Okay, let's see other points. Oh my gosh, I'm going to continue on. If I missed your message, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to keep going so we can get through all of today's information. And then I will come back to check the chat. So let's finish today with in. The last preposition is in, and we use in to express how long it will take to do something or how long it takes for something to happen. So think about in as the length of time preposition. We use it to talk about lengths of time, right? We use at to mark the point of something happening. We use in to talk about the length of something happening, okay? As our time guideline, all right? So let's take a look at some examples and we'll connect them. We'll connect the first one to this schedule we practiced in part 2. So let's imagine the time now is 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. On our schedule, we have a team meeting at 11 a.m., right? We can describe the situation, the connection between these 2 points with the meeting starts in an hour. The meeting starts in an hour. So let's break down this one. First, we have in. This one shows us the point or the length of time, yeah? In this case, we have 1 hour, right? We can say the meeting starts in an hour or the meeting starts in 1 hour. Both are correct. It's up to you. There's no difference there. So in this case, the meeting starts, right? We use start because it needs to connect, it needs to match our subject. The meeting starts in an hour, okay? So this shows us 1 hour is how long it takes before the meeting start time, okay? So we use this to show the length of time, okay? In is our length of time, okay? Let's continue. I see some examples coming in. Great, I'll come to check that in just a moment. Let's look at another example then. In example number 2, the time now is 6:45. Let's say 6:45 in the evening, 6:45 p.m. Dinner will be ready in about 15 minutes. Dinner will be ready in about 15 minutes. In this sentence, we have in, again, before about 15 minutes. So our length of time here is about 15 minutes, maybe 13 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, about, right? So again, we show the length of time something is going to take. In this case, dinner will be ready, yeah? Dinner will be ready in about 15 minutes. In this case, we are describing the future condition of being ready, the future condition. Dinner will be ready. You could also say, it takes me about 30 minutes to make dinner overall, so dinner will be ready in about 30 minutes, right? So we can use these kinds of expressions to describe how long an everyday action takes in this way, okay? I see your examples coming. Let me check a few. I'm trying not to miss any of them. Where are some in? I see some ats coming in. Great, very nice job, everybody. Okay, here's some. Zero wrote, the live starts in an hour. Great, okay. Rocky wrote, I'm getting out in 2 minutes. Good, I'm getting out in 2 minutes. Okay, that sounds good. Getting out of work, getting out of school. Erickson, prepositions are really confusing because sometimes you don't know what to use. Yes, I agree with you. Prepositions are very confusing and we use them in place situations and in time. If you want more information, I have, of course, more videos. Search preposition on the YouTube channel, the English Class 101 YouTube channel. I have many videos about this topic. You can use those, and if you use EnglishClass101.com, thank you very much. You can also find some lessons about the prepositions on the website, and you can find some lessons also to help you practice this. So if you want some like quizzes and assignments, go and check those out too. Okay, let me see other ones. Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't. Okay. I see your note, Control Desk. Thank you very much. Patrick wrote, the new computer is going to come in 3 weeks. Very nice. Okay. Nevian, close. You missed your preposition. So I will finish the monthly report around 30 minutes. Maybe you can see where you want to put the word there. Very close. Rocky, I'm about to wake up in 2 minutes. That means you are asleep now. Is that correct? Are you talking to me in your sleep? Trying to be funny? I don't know. What do you want to say there? Very, very interesting. Okay. The Black Eagle wrote, Grandma's cake will be baked in 30 minutes. Okay, Grandma's cake will be baked in maybe will be finished in 30 minutes. I'm not sure what you want to say there, but maybe will be finished. Do you mean we're going to start baking Grandma's cake in 30 minutes? You might want to be clear about the status of the cake there. Oh my gosh. Unlucky wrote, I developed strong communication skills in English 101, so maybe with English 101. So that use of in, I understand what you're saying. Maybe that one is different from the time use of in for today. Yeah, but we can use in to talk about a class or that you learned something in a class. Yes, that's absolutely true. Yeah, just different grammar point or different use from today. Okay, all right. Oh my gosh, there's so many coming. I will come back. Let me finish the lesson and then I'll come back to your examples. Great job, everybody. The chat is exploding. Okay, let's look at the last one. Your package will arrive in 2 weeks. Very important when you order something online, you will often receive a message similar to this one. Your package will arrive in 2 days or in 2 weeks. So again, we use in before the length of time required for something, okay? All right, then finishing, oh my gosh, last point for today is using once to connect ideas, okay? So quickly, we use once to mean only after something. So once means only after condition A is true can we go to the next step, okay? So what does that mean? Here's an example. Let's connect our last example sentence to this example sentence. Your package will arrive in 2 weeks. Once it arrives, confirm the contents. Once it arrives, confirm the contents. The contents means the inside. Please check the inside of the package. That's what this means. Here we have once it arrives. So once. This means only after it arrives, right? Once it arrives, please check the contents. So that means the package must arrive first. After that, please check the contents. So once is an easy way to say, do the next step after something else is already done, okay? So again, today I wanted to use these very quickly to show how we can connect, the different steps in our time, in our schedule sentences, yeah? All right, I got through everything, so let me check your examples. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Asaf wrote, I will be ready in about 35 minutes. Good. Salman wrote, I will be there in 5 minutes. Hello, good. Okay, hello, everyone saying hello. Ina wrote, we would get married in 1 month. Maybe we will get married in 1 month. I think. Victor, my project will be ready in a couple hours. Great. Rocky, I meant I'm still awake and then getting out of bed in 2 minutes. So wake up is different from get up. That's an important distinction. Wake up means you open your eyes. So wake up means you are awake. You can see and hear and understand. To get up means to get out of your bed. So maybe separate those two. Then it's perfect. Your sentence was great. Thanks for explaining that. I appreciate that. Some people are using in for place, which is great. I love that. But today we are focusing on time. Okay. Burak wrote, my license will activate in 3 days. Great. Okay. Chris wrote, I'll study in 20 minutes. Once it's finished. Great. Okay. Or maybe once I've finished, I would say. Like once I have finished studying, I will take a break for lunch. That's a really, really great sequence to put together. Just some really small grammar fixes, but that was a great sequence of activities, Chris. Nice job. So again, I'll study in 20 minutes, or maybe I'm going to start studying in 20 minutes. Once I've finished, yeah? So because you are the subject, right? I am going to study. Once I have finished, I will take a break for lunch. That would be really natural. That's a great sequence that's really, really nice. Okay. Unlucky wrote, in the next few days, we'll start the new project. Yeah, okay, in the next few days. So you've swapped the in clause there. Nice, okay. I have to finish. Oh my gosh, I really have to finish. Otherwise, I'm gonna cause problems. So let's finish there. If you want to take a screenshot, I will move out of the way so that you can see the information today. Does anybody use the QR code? I'm curious. Does anybody use the QR code? I have had zero feedback from the chat. If you use the QR code, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just use the screenshot. Anyway, next week, I'll be back, of course. Next week, what did I plan for next week's lesson? Next week, I planned to talk about, money. Yeah, we love this lesson topic. I like this one. Next week, we're going to talk about how to talk about money, earning money, saving money, spending money, investing money. I like to talk about this a couple times a year because it's really important. It's really important to think about. So please join me again next week to talk about money. That'll be 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your local time, use your Google skills or set a notification on Facebook or on YouTube or both, so you get a pop-up when we start this live stream. So thank you everybody for joining me live this week. Thanks for your great questions and comments. That was fantastic. I hope you got some good practice with these very important but very small words. And of course, don't forget, the team has an amazing discount right now, so please check the information in the link below the video, YouTube, and above the video, Facebook. You can get an amazing discount at EnglishClass101.com now, so I hope that's a good chance for you to start studying with our lessons. That's awesome. All right, we'll finish there for this week, so have a great day, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I'll see you again next time. Bye. Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets.